Hey, everybody, it's Danny from Griswold Family Vacay and Blaine from Rayleigh Creative Travel. And welcome to Just Hanging Out, where we plan to just have some good fun and fellowship with you guys while we just sit back, relax, and hopefully have fun. We have a very special guest with us tonight. If anybody is a fan of Disney, in particular Walt Disney World, this guy is actually one of the very earliest YouTubers that I actually started watching. The reason I started watching YouTube quite a bit is because last year we were planning a trip to Disney World, and so I was just doing what a lot of people do and just YouTubing Disney videos. And I came across this guy, and I started watching him, and we've been good friends ever since. Matter of fact, he's one of our moderators. He recently has been able to get back into the parks, him and his girlfriend, and they've been doing live streams. Their most recent one was Animal Kingdom, right, Blaine?
Yep.
Animal Kingdom. So hopefully some of you guys know who he is. If you don't, please make sure you go and check him out. And without further ado, let's go ahead and bring up our guest for tonight. Here's Orlando Mike and his girlfriend, Stephanie. Hey, guys.
Hey, Mike and Steph.
Hey.
Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
Dude, thanks for having us, man.
Totally.
No problem at all. So you guys want to tell everybody a little bit about your channel, Mike, if you will, please?
I mean, as you said, I really live stream at Disney, but I am now a Universal pass holder as well.
Nice.
So I try to live stream from there as much as possible. It's hard though because they say no recording of any kind on the ride. So
I actually work at Universal, so anytime he wants to go on a ride, if I'm there, I'm holding the camera, and I'll just like talk and spout off random facts, which I think are pretty cool.
What do you do there? You don't mind me asking, what do you do there at Universal?
I am an event guide, so if you ever see people like walking with the parade floats during the big, like during Mardi Gras or during Christmas, or if you ever see like just people in blue and gray or blue and khaki pants standing around this group, just sort of keeping off to the side.
Right.
That's what we guide events. So we do a lot of really cool stuff after the parks are closed, and it's a lot of guest service, and I really love it. I'm currently furloughed, so I'm not there right now.
Right.
Big time.
Sounds awesome.
Who you met during one of the media events?
During one of the media events, right before Mardi Gras, actually, I was working, and I was doing I was just a guide, and I was just kind of not really security, but I was walking media people from one area to another.
Right.
And I actually got to meet and speak to the Tim Tracker.
Oh, cool.
And Big Fat Panda.
Very nice.
And I think I died that day because they were just so cool and amazing. And you know, when I was living in North Carolina a couple of years ago, I was watching everybody. I was watching Justin Scard. I was watching Tim Tracker. I was watching Big Fat Panda, Spokesman, all the big ones. And I was like, oh my God, I want to move to Florida and meet all these people. And then I got a job at Universal, and I've met a few of them.
Very cool.
It's so cool.
It's awesome.
And that's also where we met. I think it was the day I bought my Universal annual pass, and I was by the smoking area outside of Islands of Adventure.
Right.
Lo and behold, she was there with her friend, and they were trying to decide on one piece of merchandise to buy. And so Stephanie looks at me and was like, "Hey, do you have a coin I can borrow? I'll give it back." And then what immediately followed was a conversation full of Disney parks impressions and Disney sing-alongs.
Yes.
Awesome.
And the
It
rest
was
is
a lot of
history.
fun.
Very cool. All right, before we get much further, let's go ahead and welcome everybody in. First person I see tonight was Becca Gross. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Becca Shrek. Hi, everybody. It's Becca. I had to switch accounts. Welcome in. Lynn the Okie, sounding like a true Oklahoman. Hey, all y'all. All y'all. Welcome in, Lynn. Good to see you. Josh, always on the move. Welcome in, Josh. Good to see you, buddy.
Need to go sub to him.
He lives in Florida and he actually has some cattle.
Mm-hmm. He has a cow named Fernando.
I get it. I like it.
Yeah, he has a cow.
That's
Fernando is his cow's name.
That's where the move comes from.
I love it. I love puns. That is great.
Hey, Tina. Welcome in. Great to see you.
Oh, T. Marie.
You know that channel, don't you, Mike?
Oh, yeah, I know T. Marie. If she gets around, she does.
MGM Family Travel. Hello, Bill and Lucy. Thanks for being here, guys. Great to see you.
MGM.
Carolina. Welcome in, Carolina. Kristen Holbrook. Welcome in, Kristen. Great to see you. Thank you for being here.
I also see a big Disney fan in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thrifty Angela. Hey, Angela. Welcome in. Great to see you. Miss Elementary. Welcome in, Miss Elementary. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Let's see. There he is. Big Disney fan. Hey, Keith. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for being here. Uh-oh. Here we go. Driving but listening.
YouTube.
What's going on YouTube?
Uh-oh.
Hey, Raphael, good to see you, brother.
Texting and driving.
Who else? Who else?
You better not be texting and driving.
Oh, cat just jumped again. I love when that happens.
I know.
It's always so fun. Nursing our
Gotta love
travel.
that chat, John.
Yo, what's up? Go Big Red. Hey, come on now. Talk about Nebraska. I can do it. Outside of the fact that they left the Big 12 to go to the Big 10, I can do it. Welcome in, Bill. Good to see you.
Daniel, you're Oklahoma State, right?
Oklahoma State, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Well, he's
you're
got
not
a hat,
OU. You're
black and
OSU.
orange.
Jonathan Chong. Hey, Jonathan.
Nice. Tell about it.
Good to see you, man.
Hey, Jonathan.
And then we've got Brian. Hey, Brian, what's going on, buddy? B&D Crafts and more. Welcome in. So if you guys are just getting here, our very special guest tonight is Orlando Mike with his girlfriend, Stephanie. And if you don't know them, they are they're known for doing live streams from the different parks in Florida. First, I knew Orlando Mike from when he did live streams in Walt Disney World, but now, come to find out, he also streams from Universal as well. So we're going to be asking him some questions, getting to know him a little bit more, letting you guys get to know him. As we're asking them questions, if you guys have questions for him, also just put those down in the chat, and we'll make sure that those get asked as well. Hey, Tony, what's up, buddy? Thanks for being here.
Oh, Tony.
So, guys, there's probably some names in here right now that you're familiar with, but hopefully there's also some that you're not. Because one thing that about Blaine and I, one thing that we're really proud of about both of our channels is that we kind of have a mixture of different genres of the travel community. So we have Disney, which is where I started, was with the Disney community. But we also have people from the cruising genre and also people now from the RV genre as well. So hopefully you guys will get to meet some new channels and new friends tonight, and hopefully they'll get to know you as well. And Blaine went ahead and dropped your link. It's right here. Orlando Mike. You guys aren't connected with these guys, and you love theme parks as much as they do and as much as we do, make sure you go and check them out, please. Really appreciate that. All right. Cherokee Rebel, welcome in. Like the name.
I like that.
It's nice. All right, so before we went on stream, I was asking Mike and Stephanie some questions, but we can ask them again. Or Blaine, you know what?
Hey, BB3, welcome in.
I'm gonna let you start with the questions, so that way I don't ask them all. Hey, BB3, welcome in. Great to see you.
Oh, I just pulled Blaine. E.T.
I was just curious what you guys do a lot of awesome streams in the parks and stuff. What kind of gimbal and tripod do you guys use when you live stream?
Okay, so yeah, I just recently upgraded to the DJI Osmo Mobile 3. I used the Z and Smooth Q for a long time, but I just had issues with it because of how it was configured and how my phone sat in it.
Right.
It wasn't always balanced right, and it would always tilt or it wouldn't be level, and it drove me nuts. So I upgraded to the DJI Osmo Mobile 3, and then I have my Ulanzi base stand, which is meant for the DJI Osmo.
Right.
I was like, I just love this thing. It has up and down control. It has left to right. I didn't. No, I didn't. Good. Oh, snap. I see a really big name there in the live chat.
Paging Mr. Morrow? Hi, Paging Mr. Morrow.
Oh, Mr. Tom Morrow.
Family travel today, Rich. Welcome in. Paging Mr. Morrow. Hey, Nate. What's up, buddy? Welcome in. Good to see you, buddy. Amy.
Hey, Amy.
Great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Amy. She's great. Amy, don't worry. I'm going to have your merch out to you in a week. I promise.
Megan Morris. Hey, Megan. Good to see you again. I figured you'd be sick of us after spending all night last night with us, too.
I know. We had about, 4.5 hours stream on my channel from 11 o'clock to about 3.
Was that AM or PM?
11 o'clock PM to 3 a.m. I think. But yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
I was late because I had to work today.
May have been a little bit later than that. I think it was like 3:30 we ended.
question for Blaine. All right, Blaine.
That'd be a question for my wife.
Hey, Keith, I want to let you know that my wife is a travel advisor, so this might be a question you could direct towards her. Also.
Yeah, I would probably. Depends on what you're talking about as far as setting up. I mean, that's that question there could be, I guess, asked many different ways or have different variations of which way he meant as far as setting up reservations and all that stuff. So that would probably be a Kimberly question.
Yeah. What do you recommend when it comes to setting up an Orlando trip for 6 full days at Walt Disney World and 2 full days at Universal, plus the respective resort hotels? Mike, you got any input on this?
Well, the thing with Universal right now is that they don't have the park pass system that Disney does, so you can just go anytime and they'll let you in, obviously, if you pass the temperature screening check.
Well, I mean, that's because we are annual pass holders. If you're an annual pass holder, you can use the park pass system for Disney. And then you can just go whenever you like. Granted, if there's space available. For Universal, I want to say you either have to be an annual pass member an employee, or you have to be staying at one of the hotels.
But you don't need to reserve a day.
But for that, you wouldn't need to reserve a day. If you're staying at one of the hotels and you got your tickets, if there's space available, then you should be able to just go. You don't have to go in and reserve each individual day. With the Disney Park Pass system, you have to reserve each individual day. And I think the lower budget hotels aren't open yet. I don't know what your budget is for hotels, but I think the more higher budget ones are, or at least open.
I know Hard Rock is open.
Like half capacity.
I know Hard Rock's open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, Keith, overall, I would focus on reserving your park passes for Disney first. And then whatever days you have left, use those for Universal. It's like if you get for Magic Kingdom Studios and Animal Kingdom for the first 3 days, but there's nothing available on the first day, use that day for Universal or Islands of Adventure. And then if you get 3 days for 3 other Disney parks, use the final day for Universal or Islands, whichever one you don't visit.
Also, if you haven't, I think, I don't know, but I think that there are some travel agents who could sort of help with budgeting, and they might even be able to find deals and special like coupons and stuff. I don't know. But I think that there's something like that if you have a travel agent you like to talk to.
Keith, I want to just make note that underneath the video right here, down below, is the link to my wife's travel advisor page. It's on Facebook, so just get on there and ask her the same question that you're asking us, and hopefully she'll be able to help you out.
And give you a little more input than us.
Amy said that is a nice gimbal. I bought that one. Yeah, Amy, I have that same gimbal also, and Blaine has the same one also.
Yeah, we got ours about the same time. So I know Danny's used his a couple times. I've used mine once and loved it so far, and I know you've used it a couple times with different, a couple vlogs, and you loved it as well.
Yeah. Adric's the one that does most.
Yeah, that's true. He loved it too. He did a good job.
With the gimbal and all that, he does pretty well.
And now, as far as that goes,
what I like about the DJI is that while it has this little sidearm right here, it doesn't get in the way of the phone.
Oh yeah.
Just this little section of the gimbal right here supports the whole weight of the phone. It doesn't need this. This is just one of the counterweight motors, pretty much.
Yeah, you're right.
So you can have all the cords in there for like charging, microphone, light, whatever, and the arm doesn't get in the way of that. Unlike the Z and Smooth Q.
I was going to follow up that question on the gimbal and the tripod. Now, Disney doesn't allow selfie sticks, but they've never said anything to you about gimbals or anything, correct? Obviously, that's okay to have the whole time in all the parks.
Yeah, I think because the whole thing with selfie sticks is extend to some of them can extend to a great level, can be used as a quote unquote weapon.
Yeah.
But it's also a hazard on the rides too, the selfie sticks.
Yeah.
Every time we go, we see several gimbals. And there are several people with gimbals who are streaming or vlogging, and no one's ever said a word.
Because it's all right here.
Exactly. You can't go so
sticks,
far.
They will point you out and probably take it away from you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because like if you're trying to use a selfie stick on a ride, you usually have to hold it out.
Exactly.
And like it could get caught on track, like coaster track overhead or beside you, or it could get caught in the scenery around you.
And a lot of people don't want to be on
someone else's clothing.
What's the rule on
I actually had that happen to me.
Selfie sticks are a no-go at Universal. They're not, they're a tad more lenient. They tell you not to stream on the rides. There are people that get like they'll go and they'll do like what I call guerrilla style filming, where they sort of like hide that they're filming.
Right.
But you know, it's unless it's a show where you're really close to the water or fire effects or anything like that, or if it's like a darkness dependent show and you've got external video lighting, they don't say a lot. There was a day that he went on one of the water rides just constantly nonstop, and he tried to film on it, and it did not work. They got on him immediately. They were like, put that thing away. But it was a log flume water ride, and to avoid any hassle with people saying, "Oh, you guys damaged my phone," or "You guys messed up my camera," they're like, just don't do it.
It was the day I was at Universal and I was doing that. I was writing Dudley Do-Right's Rips Off Falls all day. So while Stephanie had my main phone live streaming, I tried to pause it on there and resume it on my other phone when I was actually on the ride.
Right.
But as soon as I went by one of the cameras, an announcement went out and said, "Please put away your electronic device."
I know Silver Dollar City has the same.
But what's annoying is even on the dry rides, you can't even live stream. You can't live stream Hong Kong, Fast and Furious.
Disney does have sort of the same rules. Their rules are a bit more. They're a bit more lenient when it comes to filming on the rides or during the shows.
Oh yeah, with Disney, if you're live streaming or video recording, they're like, "Oh, you want to record a live stream of the show? Go right ahead."
Yeah.
Because then it'll encourage more people to come. But Universal tends to keep their stuff.
Their stuff is pretty lock and key.
Right.
If you can find a really good video of like any of the rides at Universal, it's most likely done by someone who has a media pass and can go on and say, "Hey, I'm doing this for my media thing," and they'll probably just let that person sit in a ride vehicle by themselves, like on ET. Like you can probably find so many videos of ET, and it's usually the higher media. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Like for example, if you look at a video from Silver Dollar City, like a ride of Silver Dollar City, most of the time it's on their own like YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. It's done through them, you know. Yeah.
But also, I did get away with it once on recording on a quote-unquote water ride. So Stephanie bought me one of those waterproof phone bags that you can still use your phone with.
Without it getting messed up.
And without it getting wet. And so I went on Jurassic Park River Adventure, and granted, I was kind of holding it down low, but it was slow enough that you could see over the seats. And I recorded my whole ride through of Jurassic Park River Adventure. But it was hilarious because there was someone else 2 rows ahead of me because of social distancing. And there was an announcement that went out. We had just passed through the giant gateway. And an announcement went out and they said, "Guests in row 3, please put away your electronic device." But I couldn't tell if they were talking to me because I was technically in the 3rd row being used, or if it was the people in the actual 3rd row of the boat. Because those boats have, I think, 5 rows in them.
That actually happened to me, like a Legoland Discovery Center in San Antonio. I was trying to film the ride in there, and they got on the camera and shouted out for me to put my camera away. It was pretty funny.
But yeah, it's like the guy 2 rows ahead of me put his phone away, and then I was still recording, and I never heard any other announcements about it. So,
like I said,
either they didn't see me, or they said, "Oh, he has a waterproof bag."
At Universal, you kind of have to do it guerrilla style. At Disney, you can get away with it a bit more because Disney, I want to say they both control their media. Like if they see something at their park and it's being filmed, they could snatch it and be like, "No, you need to take this down." But I think Universal's sort of got like a tighter grip because Universal also has the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and J.K. Rowling has absolute control over that. So if she sees anything going on there that's posted on YouTube, she'll snatch it up.
Mm-hmm. And also, if Universal messes with anything, inside of Diagon Alley, Grimmauld Place, Hogsmeade, anything like that, she will call immediately and get on people for that. Like, I think it was during Halloween Horror Nights, and they had one of the projections up on the side of Grimmauld Place. And
she was not happy.
Yeah. What? I didn't tell him this.
No.
So Tony says he has the original DJI Osmo. It's gonna have to die for him to upgrade. He still loves it.
Use it till it's out.
That's right.
There's still a lot of staff that do not understand the difference between the two. Selfie stick and gimbal, I guess he's talking about, right?
Must be.
Yeah.
There's, when I was working working the Christmas parade at Universal for the first time, I was what was called a balloon handler. So if anybody's seen like the Macy's balloons or the Macy's parades, they've got those big giant balloons, right, that everybody's got to like hold on to.
Right.
Well, they're very heavy, first of all. It's a lot of fun, and it's kind of a nerve-wracking job because you're trying to keep the balloon centered down a street that's not made for a parade balloon. But someone there had a selfie stick, and one of the guys who was walking with us to make sure that nobody came out into the street, he had to tell somebody quite a few times to put the selfie stick away because it was a particularly windy night and we had to keep the balloon as low to the ground as possible. And he was not a happy camper. And the person, I guess, there was a language barrier there, so they didn't quite understand. So they were like, hey, please put this thing away. These people are precious to us, and these balloons are precious to us. We don't want you hurting this experience for other people. So it's...
Well, I mean, granted, those balloons are like a third of the size of the normal ones for like the Macy's Day Parade, but they're still very big.
They are very big. They're very big and very heavy. But they're great. It's a great experience. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah. What's the church say?
Bad joke loading.
Trust me, Blaine, I'm full of those. I am full of those.
I know. My wife tells me all the time. She doesn't see where I get all of that. Danny can tell you, I pull out the dad jokes a lot.
I am. This one chastises me all the time for my bad jokes.
Yeah.
Dad jokes.
My bad jokes.
Yeah, I use them dad jokes on you too.
Cedar Point, I guess in Ohio is the same.
He makes fun of me all the time.
No filming on any rides. Yeah, I was wondering that, Tony, because I noticed that when you did your premiere, and by the way, you did an awesome job on that last vlog that you did. That you were filming, but whenever you and your son or you and your daughter or whoever would go on the rides, that we didn't get any of the POVs. We just got your reaction after you got off. So I was kind of wondering the same thing. And guys, if you're not
usually the only people who get
here's his link again. Blaine just dropped that, so thank you, Blaine.
Yeah, usually the only people who get permission to film on those rides are like very big social media influences, SoCal Attractions 360, Amusement Insider, iTheme Park, the Tim Tracker, Big Fat Panda. People who have high audience outreach.
Hey, we can't forget
who can actually.
Mr. Morrow, he could probably do it.
Paging Mr. Morrow.
Yeah.
Adam the Woo, Justice Card.
They've got Josh and Jenna
people
got
who
like
have high
5,000
audience
people in their
outreach.
They're here?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Oh, and I said Josh and Jenna that has 5,000 people in their stream when they're going live. People like that with big influences.
Oh yeah, Resort TV 1.
Yep.
Hey Eric,
People like that who actually garner high audience traffic and who can actually, quote unquote, for lack of a better word, promote these rides and parks.
Yeah.
Are usually the ones who can get permission. But even my friend Prince Charming Dev, who's at like 25,000, I think, getting close to 30,000 subscribers, he still has to shoot guerrilla style.
He does too.
But I mean, granted, he's a big guy, so yeah, he has to shoot guerrilla style at Universal.
You know where he's
but
from?
Luckily, Dev,
he's an Okie.
An Okie?
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Yep, Dev's an Okie.
Yes, sir.
Which is funny because he has no Oklahoma accent at all. He does not have any Oklahoma accent.
Do I?
You have a little more of like a country accent.
I mean, I'm from New Jersey, but I don't sound like it.
That's probably just I've been hanging out with that guy too long.
Yeah, he's been hanging out with me too long.
So it's your fault, Blaine. You're bringing out his country accent again.
I think so.
Yes, people do sneak their phone onto Hagrid's, and seeing as that is the type of ride that it is, that's probably not a good idea.
Oh yeah, that coaster goes like 60, 65 miles an hour. About the same ride, about the same speed as or actually a little bit faster than Rock and Roller Coaster. Rock and Roller Coaster goes, I think, 55.
0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds is the launch alone.
Hey, Ronnie.
I have watched enough of those videos.
Yeah, it doesn't go faster than 60. But yeah, Hagrid's goes like 65 miles an hour. But like my buddy Prince Charming Dev, he's such a big guy. All he has is his camera and his little holding stand that he has for it. So when you're a guy that big, you can easily like hide a camera.
Yeah, that's true.
On you, and then even when he's holding it in his hand, all you can really see is the camera, so he can kind of get away with it. But I think he is Disney media, so he does have some media pull.
Yeah, if you have a media pass, you can get away with a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't go breaking the rules like going backstage, but you can get away with a lot more.
Hey, Lucy, welcome in. Thanks for being
here. But like, I feel bad though when I'm at Universal or Islands of Adventure, because when I'm going on rides, I have to constantly pause the stream and then restart it every time I go on a ride.
Or he just hands me the camera.
Or I have to leave it with Stephanie. But even then, it's just like, I want that ability to take my gimbal, my camera, whatever, on the ride with me and actually show ride footage or POVs.
Get a press pass.
Yeah, like that is the hope one day, is that I will be media.
We got a question. Lucy MGM, she just got in here. She's asking who are our guests. So I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourselves.
Go ahead, honey. You're the best at shameless plug.
Okay. This is Orlando Mike, and I am simply the girlfriend / camera person. But he does a lot of YouTube live streams of the theme parks here in Disney or here in Florida. So Disney, Universal. We have yet to go to SeaWorld, but I'm hoping when everything dies down and starts to not be as crazy, we can go into SeaWorld, Gatorland, Busch Gardens, because I haven't been to the one here yet. Aquatica. But yep, this is Orlando Mike. Woo!
And this is Stephanie.
Hello.
Best camera woman I could ask for.
Yay, this is a family show.
We actually have a friend from the cruising genre that works at Legoland.
Yep.
So,
Oh,
That's
cool.
another place I want to go. Legoland.
you know,
I like
I'll be
Legos.
down. I'll be down in Orlando, well, down at Kissimmee, I guess, Lake Buena Vista, Disney and all, in September. So hopefully, I'll see you guys in the park. We're going to Hollywood, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, basically, and SeaWorld. I'm hoping to go to SeaWorld while I'm there. And it's the Animal Kingdom in Hollywood, Epcot, and then Magic. So
All right, yeah. Reach out to me on Instagram
I
and
will,
tell me what
yeah.
days, and I'll try and see
Matter
if
of fact,
Stephanie and I can make
Matter
something
of
line
fact,
up.
last night we went ahead and booked one of our reservations for our dining at one of the restaurants. My wife, she did that last night. So
did you hear that?
Which restaurant do you know?
I booked the dining last night.
what's that? Oh, at actually, you know what? She didn't tell me. She said it was going to be a surprise. So we'll see.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
I have a feeling.
is always good.
I have a feeling, but I'm not going to say because I don't want to say the wrong one just in case.
Hey, I have a.
Well, all the restaurants at Disney are really good.
Yeah, I got a question, Mike. It pertains both to streaming and just going to Disney World or Universal altogether. Since both parks reopened, how's it different? What do you like? What do you not like? What's easier? What's harder? And what are some of the changes that people may need to know about that are different than before?
Okay, well, obviously one of the biggest things that I've liked, and honey, I'm pretty sure you'll agree with this too. Low wait times for the ride.
For now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for now.
because of limited capacity,
Right.
there's a lot of low wait times for a lot of the rides that you'd normally have to wait at least an hour for. There's a mine train ride that you would have to wait because it's newer. You'd have to wait like an hour and a half for it. I walked by it one day. It was 30 minutes. I was like, that is cool. And it was 30 minutes with the social distancing markers in place. So it wasn't even a full 30 minutes. I mean, you'd have been standing in line maybe 20, 25 minutes at the absolute most because of social distancing.
It makes those
Now,
lines longer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I will say this. While the wait times are shorter, because of the 6 foot of social distancing, the queue lines are much longer. So the other day when I was at Hollywood Studios and I rode Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, it was like a 45-minute wait time. For about 25 of those 45 minutes, I was outside in the sun. So, yes, you have less of a wait time, but you generally spend more time in the sun, depending on which ride you're going on.
Depending on how the line works.
Right.
One of the biggest changes, if you like getting your pictures taken in front of, well, anywhere they have a photo pass photographer,
Cinderella Castle, Spaceship Earth.
You have to keep the masks on, and there are employees there who will come up to you and gently say, "I'm sorry, could you please put your mask back on?" You have to keep your masks on at all times.
And now
they will get on you about that at both parks.
But see, this is Disney. We're talking about Disney here. Whether you're walking around, taking a photo, you have to keep your mask on. I think at Universal, they might have changed it recently, but when I first started going to Universal, you could at least pull your mask down under your chin when you're taking photos. And then once you're done, you have to immediately put your mask back up. But now, I think with the rising cases going on down here, I think Universal may have changed that rule.
Both parks, I want to say, have a rule in place where if you are eating or drinking, or if like me, because Universal still has smoking sections, I am a smoker, I know, bad girl. If you are eating, drinking, or smoking, you have to stay in that one specific place.
To have your mask off.
In order to keep your mask off. You can sit there as long as you want to all day, But that's the one place, that and the rest areas. Like Disney has little areas set up off to the side, off the beaten path, where you can take your mask off. And those are the areas where you can have your mask off and just, you can social distance, but you can just chill, enjoy the ambiance, what have you. Once you leave those areas, once you leave that table, your mask goes right back on, and they will tell you about it.
Because there were a lot of guests at both Disney and Universal who were using food and drinks as a way to keep their masks off. So they were intentionally, they were intentionally carrying around drinks with them all day long. So that way they could keep their masks off to continually drink. And as soon as their drink was empty, they would immediately go buy another one. So Universal has now said, you can only have your mask off when you're sitting down to eat, drink, or smoke. And it's the second
you get up to go, you put that thing back on. Although, if you're like me, I have a Camelback, so that's like a bag with a little bladder attached. I put water in it, I freeze it overnight. I take it into the parks with me. It's got a straw on it. I can slip that straw over my mask and drink water till the cows come home.
Yeah, that's true. That's smart.
But now, Universal and Disney are starting to crack down on people who have the masks with like the flapped legs with the hole in them, so you can still drink. I think they're still banning those kind of masks.
They're also banning the ones with the little plastic vents in the side.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they'll let you wear the neck gaiters either.
No.
Universal will let you wear them. Disney won't.
It has to be like an official mask that covers your nose, your mouth, and your chin and loops over your ears. Or at least if you have one of those connectors that go around your neck, you can hook the mask onto that instead if you don't like it around your ears. Because I've noticed some Disney cast members use those. Because they have just the stereotypical...
They have the standard, uniform masks.
Very uncomfortable.
But they also have to wear the face shields in addition to the mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It can't be comfortable at all for them.
Mm-hmm. People, cast members at Disney who... Oh, awesome, Tony. Congratulations.
Nice. Good job.
But yeah. So if you're a Disney cast member or a Universal team member who has to actually go near the queue lines or pre-show areas and are getting close to guests, they have to wear a face mask and the face shield. Or if you're in customer service, anytime you get close to guests and you don't have one of those plastic barriers between you and guests, you have a face shield.
Originally New Jersey, but I spent most of my life in North Carolina.
MGM Family Travel was asking Stephanie where she's from.
What part of New Jersey? Because that'll be his next
She's a busy girl.
They're from that area, so.
I don't know. I lived there for about 3 years, maybe. So
hey, Van
I would say like Warren County. I was born in like Warren County Hospital. So, like I said, I only lived there for about 3 years.
You lived most of your life in
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Near the capital.
Okay.
And Raleigh, North Carolina actually jilled this year's state fair. I mean, I saw it coming, but
yeah,
we won't be able to get fried butter on a stick. Darn.
Amy said that Kennywood there in Pennsylvania, they don't allow filming on the rides either.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of smaller amusement parks that don't allow ride recording. Like, I wasn't on YouTube yet at this time, but I did live in Colorado. I lived in Denver for a short time, and then I moved to Boulder, which was about 20 miles away from downtown Denver. I used to go to Elitch Gardens a lot. And I wasn't on YouTube at the time, so I never tested it. So I don't know what their policy is with like ride recording. I know some of those big time YouTubers like Amusement Insider and things like that have ride footage of their coasters, but I myself never tried it.
Did you guys see this question? What if you can't wear a mask because of health conditions?
That's a good question. So if you have health conditions, like if you're asthmatic or something like that, instead of wearing the mask, you have to wear a face shield, like the ones team members or cast members wear at Disney. It's the full plastic face shield.
It's like a headband, but you wear it and it sits on your forehead and it does what it says it does. What you would do is, if you are booking a day or going there, I would definitely call someone up or email them, or even when you get to the park, let them know. Be like, hey, this is my medical condition. I would say, bring a note from your doctor, kind of just like when you were in school, just so they don't have to take you at your word, because sometimes people will do that. They'll come in and say, hey, I have a medical condition, I can't wear a mask. And then they'll say, okay, go ahead. Person doesn't have a medical condition. 2 weeks later, they're sick with COVID.
Right.
But I would say, just to be safe, get a note from a physician, be like, hey, this person has a medical condition, they can't wear a mask. Bring it in, show them, hey, this is from my doctor. And, I think at Universal, if you cannot wear any kind of face covering at all, you like a special bracelet you can wear for the day of a certain color. I think. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while, but I think they're giving you that. And then if somebody comes up and says, hey, you need to put a mask on or do something, you can say, hey, I've got this bracelet, and then all the employees will know, oh, okay, so you can't wear the mask. I think at Disney, I would say talk to guest services.
Yeah, because Megan Morris just said, I heard Disney does not care if you have a condition. No mask, no entry.
Yeah, I would say talk to someone.
Hey, full-time dream.
And Keith, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Have a good one.
See you, Keith.
Yeah, I see what she's saying right here. Tony says you cannot ride rides if you are wearing a face shield. And Megan says,
see, I haven't heard that one.
Care if you have a condition.
But then again, I haven't seen.
Disney is being extremely strict with it. So I hope we don't have to wear the masks next year. I hope by the end of the year we get this thing licked, but there's no telling.
Yeah, too early.
Honestly, it's just really, really sad that this is going on now, and it's discombobulated. We're discombobulated.
Mm-hmm. Disney News says no mask, no entry, even if you have a condition. That's crazy.
And see, that's why
crazy, because they have to go by. They have certain health regulations. They have to. ADA requires certain places to go by certain guidelines, so they have to follow federal guidelines, not just what they want to, put in.
And I think that's why Universal has different policies on the matter than Disney does. But also, that's what kind of pushed me to get a Universal pass. Is that yes, they're a little more. Yes, they're a little more lenient, I guess, when it comes to the legality of the situation.
See, I've seen.
But either way, I do feel safe in both parts. Universal, Disney, I do feel safe.
You do feel safe.
That's mainly because of this.
That's what I was gonna ask next. I was gonna ask how you guys feel the situations being handled at both parks, both by the staff and by the people who are attending, as just just normal visitors to the parks. I was gonna ask how those situations are being handled by both of those groups of people, and also if you guys had any tips for visiting, like if you're gonna visit Universal or visit Disney World anytime soon. If you guys had any tips for that, you've touched on a lot. You guys are doing a really good job, but if there's anything, maybe like one or two things for sure you would recommend.
I highly recommend investing in a camel bag, honestly. It's again, for people who don't know what it is, it's a backpack with like a bladder in it that you can put water in, and it's got a straw connected to it. Definitely get one of those. You can freeze the water overnight. You can wear it to the parks with you. You can slip the straw up under your mask and drink from it. And it's also a functioning backpack, so you can put stuff in it. Take advantage of the rest spots where you can go, and I mean, if you're feeling woozy or anything like that, well, if you're feeling woozy, you might want to sit down.
Yeah, because I will say this: when you are in the parks and it's a very hot or humid day, those masks do get kind of suffocating because it gets hot and your face gets sweaty and uncomfortable. So do take advantage of the U-rest stations at Universal or the relaxation stations at Disney. For example, I know inside of Universal, there is a U-rest area inside of Central Park, which is along the walkway as you head towards the Simpsons area. And there's one inside Islands of Adventure. The one I know of inside Island, there are two actually that I know of inside Islands of Adventure. One of them is in the theater where the old Sinbad show used to be, which is right there as you enter the Lost Continent from the Hogsmeade area slash the Hogwarts Express train station. Another one is right at the main entrance of Islands of Adventure from City Walk, which also doubles as a smoke area for any smokers.
Hey, Jeff.
Oh, that's Jeff and Angela from Death Star Dream.
But yeah, as far as feeling safe, honestly, with the fact that they have employees there who are gently enforcing the 6-foot rule.
Disney more so than Universal.
Well, Disney more so than Universal, but I do feel safe there going to the parks. People are keeping their distance. It's, you know, occasionally you get a couple rogue folks that are all like, yeah, I don't want to keep my distance, blah, blah. But, you know, for the most part, everybody understands if you're going to the theme parks, you do have certain rules you have to follow. And yeah, it kind of sucks, but
yeah, I agree with
it's
and not only with like the masks, the cast / team members walking around the U-rest areas, I do have to say some certain attractions do have plexiglass barriers set up in the queue lines on the handrails. So that way, if certain parts of the queue would have people situated within 6 feet of each other, they do have tall plexiglass barriers set up to still keep people safe.
And they ask you not to touch those, but I've seen a lot of people do it. And
oh yeah, well, it's like I know they have.
Maybe it's just because I work at a theme park, but if something says don't touch, you probably shouldn't touch.
Well, yeah, because like I know they have them on Big Thunder Mountain. They have them on
Space Mountain.
They have them on Space Mountain. I'm trying to think of other.
A lot of the higher capacity rides they would have had them on.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so a lizard just got into our house, so they're all trying to get it outside. If you hear Kimberly like yelling, that's what's going on.
You sure you don't live in Florida? We got tons of lizards that get in the house.
Travel.
Yeah, we got those. We got those.
He's saying that Mark Walters said no recording in Disney. You guys can probably steer Eric in the right direction on this one. He's saying he wants to vlog in Disney, but he doesn't think he's allowed to.
Oh no, Eric, you can totally vlog and record inside of Disney. It's Universal that's a little more strict on what and where you record.
With Disney, you just have to watch and make sure that you don't have any external video lighting on. So, like, don't turn on the flash, don't turn on extra lights, don't have a guy behind you holding up a giant light. Um,
And like, make sure you don't have anything that extends longer than like
the length of your arm. But yeah, as far as filming at Disney, every time I go into the Country Bear Jamboree, I live stream that for my mom, and I put that on Facebook for her. So
yeah, and then like I live stream on countless rides at Disney. Usually ones that don't have connection problems, like I live stream on Big Thunder. Well, what other rides do I live stream on?
a lot of them.
I live stream on a lot of the rides at Disney, but the problem is with Universal, they're very strict about letting
people
record. So a YouTuber like me, who's not that big, who doesn't have media access or media privileges, they say no recording. But like a lot of my other friends in the Disney community, who are bigger and garner a lot of audience attention, usually will have a media pass and they can record on rides. So
like, I'll be honest, I don't even think Tim Tracker films on rides. Like, he'll film his the queue, but then he'll turn off the camera for the ride. I guess probably just to enjoy the ride. But
oh yeah.
Jeff from Just Our Dream
I saw a question
as well. He says we vlog at Disney all the time. Where did you hear that? Yeah. So you can, Eric, for sure.
I saw another question. I think it was from Rebecca. She asked,
right here.
going to Universal time, what do you recommend riding? I recommend riding everything. There are just enough rides at Universal that you could probably do everything in one day.
If you flow right, if you flow through the park right.
I mean, even if you don't, you can still do everything in one day. That's if you time everything right. So I'd recommend going multiple days just to enjoy everything. The must-dos, the must-dos, I would say for the Universal Orlando side, I would highly recommend ET because that was an opening day attraction.
I think that's one of the only,
I think that's one of the only opening day attractions still left in the park.
If not the only one.
If not the only one.
I recommend Despicable Me, Meaning Mayhem.
Yeah, and if you like The Simpsons, that ride is great. If you like roller coasters, Rip Ride Rocket is amazing. Basically, just all the rides there are great if you like big thrills and big coasters. I'm not the biggest fan of big coasters.
And see, that's where I come in. I am a big coaster guy.
That's how
for me, I would recommend.
Landon likes the thrill ride. His problem is he's not tall enough to ride a lot of them yet. But
it's okay. You'll get there. I promise.
You'll get there, dude. But yeah, it's like so yeah. Over on the Universal side, I recommend Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts.
Hey, here's what Tony It says, if you have a disability that prevents you from wearing a face covering, please contact guest services about our alternate accommodation, which is to wear a face shield during your visit. So you guys are right on with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw people wearing face shields there, and nobody got on them about it. As long as your face was covered and you were keeping that 6-foot distance rule, spot on.
Bake a leg and let's
but
dig
also,
it.
like,
I didn't say hi to you guys earlier. Welcome in. Here.
Yeah, but like Stephanie said earlier, if you are asthmatic or claustrophobic or
if you have a condition that prevents you from being able to wear a face mask, definitely get something from your general practitioner just to have it, just to say, yes, this is a legit thing. And definitely hit up a guest services person.
Because I'm pretty sure there are people who are just showing up and saying, yeah, I have this, that, or the other medical condition to get around the face mask rule.
Yes, they do. And that is something that, again, you talk to someone at guest services, and you say, hey, I have a disability pass. They'll give you a little, it looks like a little booklet, and you just write the number of people that are in your party, and then let's say you want to get on Hagrid's, and you would take it up to the person at the beginning of the queue. They'll say, okay, how many people are in your party? They'll look at the thing.
Whatever the case.
Yeah, they'll count how many people are going on the ride with you, and they'll say, all right, come back at this time. And then you go back at that time, and Hagrid's is a bad example because it breaks down a lot because it's new.
Thank you, Tony.
But yeah, they do the disability thing just the same as Disney, maybe in a different way, but.
Hey, Jeff, it was a lot smaller than Godzilla, but any kind of insect at all, even an ant, is considered Godzilla size to Kimberly. So he asked, what kind of lizard? Godzilla or smaller? I'm just telling him you don't like bugs. OMG, she's afraid of a little lizard. Rebecca Shrek.
Yeah, not only do they have disability passes for Universal, they also have them for Disney. And again, that's a matter of going to guest services and saying, hey, I'm claustrophobic, I can't be in crowds, or I can't stand for long periods of time.
Or you're
in a wheelchair. Then you can go to guest services.
Hey, Frank, welcome in.
They will give you. Yeah, and then guest services will give you a guest pass or booklet in the case of Universal. And then most likely they'll take you through either the.
I think at Disney they take you more towards the back entrance of the ride, and I think for some of the rides at Universal they take you towards the back entrance, but usually they don't have to.
9 times out of 10 they'll take you to the exit.
At Disney more they take you through the exit, which I find to be really cool. I mean, it's sad that people have disabilities, but it's really cool that they get to go through the back entrance of the ride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I know that's particularly true for Big Thunder, because since Big Thunder has a staircase that you have to go up to get into the queue line, if you're in a wheelchair or have the DAS, they will take you through the exit, which takes you right to one of the trains.
Which is a pretty cool way to get on the train. Sad, but cool.
Mm-hmm. And then also with Haunted Mansion, they'll take you through the exit and they'll take you through that side corridor, which I think takes you right into the entry hall where the portrait is, or it'll take you into the room that you exit out of the stretching room into. It takes you right into that hallway.
Yeah, I think it takes you through the chicken exit, honestly. I could be wrong. I've never used the chicken exit.
The chicken exit. God, every time I'm gonna go past there now, I'm gonna be like, hey, look, there's the chicken exit.
Well, they have chicken. Disney has chicken exits for their rides. Did you not know? I mean, they don't
get used that often.
I wouldn't know. I've never used them. I mean, I've only used the chicken exit once, and that was for Tower of Terror, and I am never going on that again.
So, Blaine, do you have any other questions for Mike or Stephanie?
I don't. I was curious too. Obviously, with when you stay at the parks, well, pretty much all day. How many battery packs do you guys usually have to carry? Like in September when I go, I know I'll have a couple devices like my GoPro and then my cell phone. But how many battery packs?
Well, you are in luck because I actually have my backpack right here with me.
Hey, Brianna.
So I have my main battery pack right here, which has 3 USB ports on it, and this one has 27,000 mAh. I don't know what that is. It's like megahertz or something.
Mike? What's the brand?
This one is a RAV Power RAV. Power. Mm-hmm. And then I forget which company this is, but this power bank has 24,800. So I have a 27,000 and a 25,000. These things will charge my gimbal and my phone probably once or twice over each.
Nice.
So if my phone battery is getting low, it'll charge my phone up to full power. And then if my gimbal starts to die, it'll charge my gimbal too. And what's good about this with the DJI Osmo and the phone that I'm researching is that they are both USB-C. So it's the same. I can use the same charging cord for both. So once my phone's charged up, I can just switch it to my gimbal and charge that.
Nice.
And I have like just the standard little pint size of this for my phone because I don't use my phone for anything other than taking pictures at the park. So if my phone dies and I need to charge it, or it's getting low and I need to charge it, I use his.
So another question. This is actually a park-related question, but now they don't do the fireworks anymore, correct? Right now? I think it's freezing. It's lagging a little bit.
Yeah, I hear that.
They are not doing the fireworks or the evening shows at any of the parks.
Okay.
I know because we really miss
too, right?
the fireworks, and I think they said. And yeah, the parks are closing earlier so that they can get everything sanitized and cleaned up and all of that. And
hey Tyler,
they're closing earlier, they're doing fireworks. It's sad, but we're taking what we can get right now, and we're
exactly.
But something did come up with. So Disney and Universal have these cavalcades every so often. There are little mini parades that come out with certain characters on them.
Yeah.
For Universal, they'll have Dora come out, or Secret Life of Pets. Despicable Me, SpongeBob, and then on this stage near the original entrance for the Hollywood Horror Makeup Show, they have a little stage set up where Marilyn Monroe or Betty Boop or Beetlejuice will come out sometimes, and they'll stand on stage, and you can stand on these little place markers 6 feet away and get photos with them. Or like Marilyn will come out on her car, and you can stand 6 feet away from the car and get photos with her.
Bye, Jeff. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Good to see you.
Bye.
Later, Jeff. Say hi to Angela.
All right.
Yeah,
so
with Disney too. Sorry, but yeah, with Disney they're doing cavalcades too. They have a princess cavalcade. It has Belle, Aurora, Jasmine, Elena of Avalor, Rapunzel, Cinderella.
And I mean, it's like the regular parades, except it's one float and maybe a character on a horse. With Merida, they usually put her on a horse. With Gaston, they'll put him on a horse. So, like, it's pretty cool. And some characters that you wouldn't be able to meet, you can see on the cavalcades. Like, with Goofy's cavalcade, usually his son Max is with him. And Max is a character you never get to see. So that's pretty cool. They're working around what they've got. They're using what they've got. And like I said, I do miss the fireworks. I love the Happily Ever After fireworks at the Magic Kingdom.
I can't wait for us to watch that together.
I know that would be so cool. But it's just like, yes, I miss it, but there are so many videos of it on YouTube. If I really wanted to, I could use a little projector, put it up on my wall, and cry that way without having to hassle with a crowd to leave the park.
Right.
But it's, we're grateful for what we've got. And when they start redoing all of this stuff, we'll be very happy and we won't complain. But right now we're grateful with what we can get.
Mm-hmm. And they have cavalcades at all the.
At this part in the show, I want to take the time to give a special shout out and thank you to all of our moderators. and our partner channel, this guy right here, Blaine Rayleigh Creative Travel. Please go and show your love and support to one another. And I ask right now at this time, if you guys would, if you are a creator, please put hashtag creator in the chat. If you are a supporter, please put hashtag supporter in the chat. Thank you guys for all your support. And also what I want to do now, since we're about an hour into our show, is I'm going to actually go ahead and send an invite to anybody that would like to come up, hang out with us, maybe ask Mike, Stephanie a question, tell us about your channel if you have one, anything like that that you guys would like to do. I'd like to go ahead and give you all the opportunity to do that now. So here is the link. If you have something coming up you would like to share with us again, or if you'd like to ask a question, you're more than welcome to. You have any other questions while we're waiting for people, Blaine? Or
I don't think so. I appreciate Mike and Stephanie coming on and answering questions. And
thank you guys so much for being here.
Yeah, giving us more information as the times have changed, and we're looking forward to the normal times that we used to know around the parks. So.
My last question,
like I said,
my last question, Mike and Stephanie, would just be if you guys have any advice for anybody maybe who is just starting out that hasn't streamed at any theme park or amusement park before, what advice would you give to them?
Well, my recommendation, do research on equipment. Like, reach out to creators like myself, Tom Does Disney, my buddy Aaron from My Disney World Fix, my friend Tanya, that crazy Disney lady. Like, because we all have different equipment that we like or use. So reach out to us and ask, like, hey, what gimbal do you use? What battery packs do you recommend?
Right.
I would say try a little bit of both vlogging and live streaming. See what you like more. I know Mike doesn't do a lot of vlogging, but he loves live streaming. So, like, he loves to see the comments in real time and respond to people and talk to people that way. Whereas a lot of people just prefer to go and vlog, and then they can go edit when they get home and post, and that's it. So I would say try your hand at a little bit of both before you decide which one you want to do more. And always take a buddy with you. If you can, take a buddy with you so that if you need someone to hold the camera while you run to the restroom, or if you need someone to hold the camera while you go on a ride, definitely have someone there that can hold your stuff, because you don't want to just leave your stuff sitting around. If you're spending a lot of money on equipment, you do not want to leave it sitting around. These are theme parks, but people do with more than just napkins.
Oh yeah, like just the other day, you had someone come up and try to swipe your little Figment Pop.
Yes, I did. I have a little Figment Pop figure that I take to the theme parks with me. I take him to Magic Kingdom, and I get pictures of him, and he's the original Figment, so he's not the one with the chef hat. But I had a little kid come up and like swipe it off a table, and the mom came up crying. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Hey, it's okay. Kids will be kids." She brought it back. No harm was done. And then, like, my meal, I went over and I told them, "Hey, this is where you can find more Figment stuff if y'all are into it." And it was just, sometimes people don't bring stuff back, and it's, you know, just have someone with you that can hold on to your stuff if you need to go somewhere. Always
welcome in my backyard. Good to see you guys.
Hello. Oh, and don't buy anything you're not willing to carry around.
Yeah, Mike,
especially if you are.
Anybody?
I say what?
I said I've heard you've been doing quite a bit of shopping lately for people on your streams. You know how you'll buy things if they're spending money.
Yeah.
I told him here a while back we were at we were at Splash Mountain and
But yeah, so yeah, so I was in Magic Kingdom. I think it was either the day they reopened to both pass holders and guests, or whether it was a pass holder event. But a lot of people wanted me to get Splash Mountain merch for them. And so after everyone sent their PayPals and I bought everything, I was walking around with like 10 plushes, 2 shirts, pins and ornaments and all this stuff.
A big bag. A very big bag of things.
But then a couple hours later, one of my viewers and one of my good YouTube friends reaches out to me and says, "Hey, someone posted a picture of you in a Disney Facebook group calling you out and saying, oh, you're one of those eBay resellers buying all this stuff to resell it." And like, I didn't get mad, but I felt hurt and I felt attacked because someone was saying all these things about me without knowing the backstory.
Right.
Also,
although it was funny because my friend who told me about this, apparently his mom went off on the person that posted it in the group, which I found kind of funny.
Also, with like souvenirs and stuff, if you're going for an extended period of time, I would say wait until the end of your trip to buy all your souvenirs, because if not, you end up walking the entire day with this.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Stephanie. Yeah,
I like it. It's in his backpack.
Well, yeah, and like that's something I did into account is that I have very bony shoulders. So the metallic clip that you're supposed to put under your shirt to hold your Banshee in place doesn't really sit well on my shoulders. Now, I found a loophole that I could put the magnet on my one of my straps for my backpack, and that kind of held it, but it was still kind of sliding forward a little bit.
And then it was raining that day. So again, it spent most of the day in his backpack because it fell off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I see Justin at the Disney, or she said she felt bad.
Because it was raining there at
It stopped raining halfway through the day.
But then wasn't it raining at Magic Kingdom when you were there also?
It was gently sprinkling. It wasn't a torrential downpour. The first day I went back to Hollywood Studios, I literally had to take shelter inside one of the gift shops. Yeah, I had to take shelter inside one of the gift shops on Sunset because it started pouring down rain. I didn't have an umbrella.
Right.
And then it kind of stopped for like 3 minutes. So I was like, okay, this is my chance. And I booked it to Tower of Terror.
But this is the rainy season. Florida has a rainy season, which sort of morphs into hurricane season. And then it has, well, rainy season and hurricane season. So. And
then we have the cooler season.
And then we have maybe a couple weeks of nice weather in October. But it's, yeah, if you're coming down, bring a raincoat, pack a lightweight jacket. Disney is selling these really cool raincoats now. They're not ponchos. They're made of like a tougher material. They're around,
because those ponchos rip so easily.
Yeah, they're around $50-$60 a piece, but they're really nicely designed, and they have pockets, which as a female, I am prone to loving pockets because I don't have a lot of them. But the raincoats are really cool.
And they come with really cool designs too. Like one of them has theme park icons on them. It's like the castle, Spaceship Earth, and then they have various desserts. One of them is just Disney food themed. So it has like churros, popcorn, Mickey bars, Mickey sandwiches all over it.
One of them is themed for the Enchanted Tiki Room, and it's green. And everybody really likes that one. But my favorite one is the Rainbow Pride.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and I think the Tiki Room one, it has like the bird, and I think it has a Dole Whip on it too.
Yeah, but that one's also got a matching umbrella that goes with it,
which I find is very cool.
I know, right?
The Tiki Room doesn't get enough respect, in my opinion.
It's really cool. It's a really nice place to go down and enjoy some birds.
Mm-hmm. And I think they are doing the tiki room. I know.
Yeah, the tiki room is open. The last time I went there, when I went by myself, they were having some technical difficulties. Some of the birds were not up to singing that day, so I had to leave the line. But it was like a 2-minute wait, and I was like, you know what? That's okay. I can just get a Dole Whip right next door.
Mm-hmm.
I love Dole Whips.
Mm-hmm. Myself, I'm particular to the float because as the Dole Whip melts, you can just drink it.
Their own thing on
Especially on a hot day.
Does anybody else have any other questions for Orlando Mike or Stephanie in terms of
You can delete that. I accidentally put Facebook and say YouTube.
Oh.
That's okay. I do have a Facebook though. I have Facebook, although I'm not really active on that as much.
Hey Nick, welcome in, bud.
But I'm most active usually on my Instagram and my Twitter.
I haven't seen you active on Twitter in a while, but he is very active on his Instagram.
Yeah. So my Instagram, both my Instagram and my Twitter are Orlando Mike 1995. Be sure to go follow me. I post a lot of the pictures that I take, Disney park photos that are taken of me from the official past photographers, magic shots, magic videos, like when you ride Tower of Terror, Seven Doors Mine Train, things like that. I post all that on my Instagram.
Very nice. All right, so I'm going to put the link in one more time. If anybody wants to come up and maybe tell us about your channel or you have questions for Mike or Stephanie, anything else. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for being here and for talking about Disney and Universal with us. We really appreciate it very much. It's great to meet you, Stephanie.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thank you.
I haven't been watching your videos in a hot minute, so I hope this makes up for it.
That's all good, buddy. Life happens.
I just really like your name.
Oh, thank you. That's our real name, by the way.
Yeah. Wait till you see his other son. His other son is just as cool.
You can delete that one too. I think that was a
the
different
Christmas one. But I like
Hey, or Mike, give me your Instagram one more time. I think it may be that may be a different one that you had on your about.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
he also hasn't added me to his bio, but that's okay because I'm not really that important.
No, I did. You are in my Instagram bio.
Oh. No, I'm not on YouTube.
Actually, I forgot
yeah.
Mike connected. Put it in there.
I don't really post a lot of stuff on my YouTube. I just take pictures and make slideshows.
Do you have a channel, Stephanie?
I do. It's Dr. River Who, or
Okay.
Dr. Period River Who, because I'm a huge Doctor Who fan.
Okay. Very nice.
But I just post videos of. I just post slideshows that I make. Like I'll take pictures and I'll set them to music, and that's about it.
Very cool.
I haven't done anything in a while.
Yeah, that's cool. Very nice. So, Mike, when are we going to be able to catch you next on a live stream?
I think our next day live streaming, it's not going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be our connection test day. But I want to say it's going to be the 4th, right?
I think
Either
so.
the 4th or the 5th?
She's opening the Disney app right now to find out.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out what days we have set up. Yeah, because on the 4th we're going to Magic Kingdom. So I think we're going to be streaming that day, and I think we're doing it on the 4th and the 5th. So on the 4th we're going to be at the Magic Kingdom, and on the 5th we're going to be at Epcot. But he's going to test his connection at Epcot tomorrow, and we're going to see what's going on there, if our connection's good and all that.
Nice.
I get a half decent connection on my phone, so if he needs to log into Streamlabs through that, he can do that as well.
Yeah, now that I am on AT&T with this phone, I'm hoping that the connection is going to be much better.
What kind of phone do you use, Mike?
Right
iPhone?
now I have the Samsung Galaxy A50.
Samsung Galaxy, okay.
It was a phone that I bought off of Amazon, so it wasn't a phone that I bought from my actual carrier at the time. So when I added it to my plan, I wasn't getting the same connection that my main phone was. So I was like, you know what? I know AT&T is Disney's provider. I'm going to switch this phone to AT&T. And so far, already with this phone, I have better overall data connection.
Nice.
So tomorrow at Epcot, I'm going to be doing connection tests all around, especially in particular World Showcase, because I know World Showcase gets a lot of dead spots in between lanes.
And also, I was trying to ask you on your live stream last time, do you find using your phone data or the Wi-Fi there at Disney World works better as far as streaming, or does it just depend on where you are?
It really depends on with my Metro by T-Mobile phone, I usually get good data connection.
Data.
And now, granted, Disney's Wi-Fi is a little bit better now because it doesn't have tens of thousands of people trying to use it at the same time.
That makes sense.
Like normal.
Yep.
But even still, even with a few thousand people using it, it does kind of slow it down a little bit.
Right.
So it really depends on the carrier you have. But if you are a live streamer at Disney, I think just based on things that I've heard from some of my fellow live streamers, I think AT&T is the way to go.
Right.
Because AT&T is Disney's provider.
Right.
So you probably have a poor connection there.
Mm-hmm.
I know, doesn't Josh and Jenna, don't they use like the Samsung? I'm pretty sure they don't use the iPhone. They said that Android works better as far as streaming at Disney. I'm pretty sure they said that.
Yeah. But they have one of the higher end Samsungs. I think they have like one of the Samsung S10s or the S20. Something like that. My phone is like, I think my phone is like one or two classes below that. But it's still a very good phone.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm looking at Josh's message. He told me he has the let's see, Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra and then the S10 are our main cameras, but Jenna uses the Canon G7X Mark II for vlogs, and then I use a Sony A6500 for videos of rides and low light. So that's what they use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because with my A50, you see here, this is 3 separate cameras. So it has the normal camera, it has the wide camera, and then it has, I think, like a night shooting camera. So it shoots better in low light. Versus my Galaxy J7 Star, it just has the one camera right in the middle. And then I think this phone took some water damage because for some reason, every time I would try to, when I was live streaming, when I would try to flip the camera around to the front facing camera to face me, my stream would glitch and it would stop working. And I would have to stop the stream, close the app, and restart it. And I think it was one day in particular, I had my phones in my bag and I had a couple Gatorades in there. And there was a lot of precipitation building up because it was a pretty hot day. And I think water might have gone on or into the camera and messed it up. And also with my speaker doesn't work very well on this phone anymore.
Okay.
I just have a Walmart Straight Talk phone because I don't live stream a lot.
Right.
So
you don't need the output that I need.
I don't need the output that he needs. I do hit dead spots, but usually I'm just talking to my mom or
Right.
texting somebody, or can't find all up watching his streams so I can figure out where he is.
Right.
Like
Happens a lot.
at the most, you Facebook Live, and that's about it.
Yeah, at the most
Although-
I Facebook Live on mine from my mom. So
Although what's funny is you said the day after you met me, when you were going to the parks before we started dating, she started seeing YouTubers left, right, and center.
yeah, once you start dating a YouTuber,
We
you
just started
you
popping
notice
up.
them a lot more.
Oh yeah, if she met my friend Tanya, that crazy Disney lady. You've met my Aaron from my Disney World Fix. You've met
a
Andy.
lot of them.
You've met Andy from Andy's Playground. You've met Tim Tracker. You've met Big Fat Panda.
That was on my own though. But I met Spokesman.
Oh yeah, so we were at Universal one day, and I was live streaming.
And somebody commented the stream and said that Spokesman was also live streaming. And Spokesman is someone that I was watching when I lived in North Carolina before I moved down here. So I was sort of familiar with who he was, and I knew that if I had seen him in person on my own, I'd have lost my mind. And we were following Spokesman's streams so that we could go, which is kind of rude, actually. We should probably not have done that.
But yeah, it was funny because he was walking towards us. He was leaving the Simpsons area, and he was walking towards us.
Yeah, welcome in, buddy.
We were near Hollywood Horror Makeup Show and Transformers: The Ride 3D. We were walking in his general direction. And the closer we got to Spokesman, the more and more she was just like, okay, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't meet him. I can't do it.
I didn't want to interrupt his live stream because I have heard from people who have gone up to people like the Tim Track or, Adam the Woo, Justice Guard, and they said, while they were streaming and the streamers kind of got a little miffed at them. And I'm like, I get that because they're doing something for other people. They're doing this, they're putting themselves out there, and you're just walking in and being like, hey, I'm a huge fan. And I was really nervous about it. He seemed really cool about it.
But also, you kept your cool.
I tried so hard.
If you go up to...
I was internally screaming.
It's like, for anyone who meets me or people like Spokesman, Dev, Tanya, Aaron, and the like, if you meet us in the parks, if you walk up and be cool and be like, hi, I'm a fan, it's good to meet you, may I have a photo with you, yada yada, we'll be cool with it because you're not like fangirling. And I'm like, like, oh my god, it's you, I love you, I love your channel, I love all your stuff, blah blah blah. Can I have a photo? Can I have an autograph? This, that, and the other. That's when we're gonna be kind of miffed. You're gonna be like, whoa, you're freaking out a little bit. Like, tone it down.
Yeah.
I tried to be cool. I tried so hard.
She was very cool.
I was internally screaming.
She was very cool. Chris was very friendly. They got a photo together. But the second he started walking away, she spazzed. She went full fangirl. And that's a good trait that she has, is that she keeps herself cool until after the person leaves. And then she fangirls.
Well, I mean, I fangirled really hard over Tim Tracker, too. But that was after I did my job. And I had to, escort him from one area to another. And I fangirled over Big Fat Panda, too.
Well, see, and I think...
But I did my job first.
And see,
I treated them as people.
And see, I think that's why with your job, I think that was good training for you. Because it teaches you to have a cool level head with everyone you meet, no matter who they are.
Yeah, if you meet a celebrity in the parks, a normal person's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I want to get their autograph. I want to do this. I want to do that." And this celebrity might be okay with it. They might not be okay with it.
Like when you run up brandishing a pen and
autograph,
freaking out, yeah, they're gonna be kind of miffed and like, "Whoa, psycho fan." But if you walk up and be cool and be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm a fan. I love you. May I please have your autograph? May I please have a photo?" If you're polite and cool, then they'll be polite and cool with you.
I just I remember meeting them, and when I met,
hey, Bradley, welcome in, buddy.
Hi. When I met the Tim Tracker, I looked at him and I was like, I have to be very professional, but I would love to tell you, me and my friends love your videos. We love your vlogs. We love your videos. We love hearing your opinion on things. You are so amazing and influential. Thank you for what you do. And he was like, thank you for being amazing. And I was like, oh, thank me for being amazing.
And then the second she clocked out,
and when I met that same day when I met Big Fat Panda, he asked me about the attraction I was leading him to. And I said, honestly, sir, I haven't been inside it, but you know, I look forward to seeing the content that you put out regarding it, because I love watching your channel as well. And he was like, oh man, that's so cool. You could come in with me. And I'm like, I'm at work, or I would. But you know, he was just, they're all very down to earth. And like, even though they're big, even though they've got that beautiful, you know, press pass, I like to call it, they're still very down to earth. And everybody starts out small. And I think if you remember where you started, then, you know, when you get to the top, it makes it so much cooler, because you're like, yeah, I remember being there. So if you want advice, kid, I got you.
Yeah, because like I'm less than 140 away from my first 1,000 subs, but I still remember the day when I had 200 subscribers and I only had like 1 to 3 people watching at a time. You know, almost no one watching. And now here I am at almost close to 900 subs, even 1,000, with 30, 40. I think I've had a maximum of 79 people watching at one time.
Nice.
But like, I still hold on to, and I still remember those days when I was small, because I know that without my viewers and without my fans, like you, Daniel, Blaine, everyone in the live chat, without you guys, I would not be able to do this. And it's for you guys that I do this, because I love bringing all the magic of Disney and the wonder of Universal to you guys. And it's why I do what I do.
Right. It's awesome.
And it's great that, you know, that he live streams, because, you know, we get to see everybody and we get to talk to everybody in real time. And that's just a cool thing that I think. I mean, I like vlogging. It's great. Because I would like to go home and edit a lot of things, but with the live streaming, it's cool because you get to talk to people in real time, and it's awesome.
And there's a lot of people.
It's like
there's a lot of people that will never, and that may not. I'm not going to say will never, but they haven't yet got the opportunity to go to Universal or to Disney, and so you guys bring that to them. So that's something else that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Or like encourages them even more to come and visit.
Yep, that's true.
Disney and Universal and any major theme park in general, they are really their once in a lifetime things. And for those of us that are lucky enough to live here, for those of us that are lucky enough to work there, for those of us that are lucky enough to have been there more than once, we love sharing that experience with others. And we love, you know, just when I was in school, everybody would get jealous, or they'd pick on me for being that Disney girl, but then they'd spend all their summers at the beach, or, you know, they'd stay home, or they'd go to camp. And I'm like, guys, I get to go to the happiest place on earth. And, you know, they were just like, yeah, right, whatever, boo-hoo, big whoop. And I feel like if I had had the chance to take them with me, I would have done it at least once so that they could experience the amazingness that I felt when I went. And I mean, some people, they look at Disney and they go, whatever. It was better as Swampland. And, you know, we all have different opinions. That's okay. But if you go at least once in your life and you go without any preconceived notions and you go to have a good time, then, you know, it will be worth it. And a lot of people save up their entire lives. They save up for generations to come, because going to a theme park, experiencing it all to the max, is very expensive. And in today's economy, not a lot of people have much money. So, you know, it's a very expensive thing, and it's a very once in a lifetime thing. And that's why I love being at the parks. That's why I love that. That's why I moved down here, was to get a job at Disney. That I got a job at Universal. But, you know, that's why I moved down here, was to be able to, I like to say, I want to give back the magic that was given to me when I was a kid. I want to make people's experiences in the parks as amazing as my experiences were. And that's why I genuinely love what I do. And why I wish I could go back soon.
And that's why I think they need to hurry up and bring you back.
That would be great. But yeah, it's something. It's great.
What would you guys right now, you know, the whole mask wearing thing, people don't like doing that, but then you look at the crowd level and all that. And so do you guys think that the having to do that extra stuff, like for safety reasons, do you think that that's well worth it for the return of, you know, not having such long lines and stuff like that? You know what I mean? If somebody's thinking about coming, would you encourage them to come, or would you encourage them to stay home? Is what you have to do in order to come, is that worth going through in order to maybe not have a 2-hour wait at Mine Train or something like that?
Well, I always recommend people coming here.
I would say wait. Honestly, I would say wait until the end of the year. At the end of the year, I feel like
see what like the phase 2 is.
We'll see what phase 2 is. We'll see what, because there's a lot of restaurants that aren't open. Again, there's a couple of rides that still aren't open. You know, and like the parades still aren't going on. So I would say wait until the end of the year. Wait until a phase 2 happens. Let's see where we go. Let's keep taking care of each other and our families and ourselves, and just keep an eye out on the news, and let's see where it goes, guys. Wait until the end of the year. Come January, if you want to start booking and come, then by all means, come on down. If things get progressively worse, then again, we hold on to what sanity we have left.
Right.
But I would say if you really, really, really want to come and you want to put on that mask and say, forget it, I'm putting on a mask and I'm going, come heck or high water, come on down. Just remember those safety precautions are in place for a reason. And come on down and have fun. It's not going to be as great as it was at the beginning of the year, but let's all just be grateful we have what we have right now.
Hey, but it is good to know from you guys, just that they are doing a really good job. Both Disney and Universal are doing their very best to stay persistent, to make sure that everybody stays safe while having a fun time at the same time. So that's assuring. You know, that's promising to know that at least they're doing that. So
yeah, it's like, I think Disney and Universal are pretty much even, but when I think it comes to the quote-unquote character experiences, I think Universal has the edge. Because not only do they have the character cavalcades when they come out on their...
Hold on. Are you saying you like Universal better than Disney, Mike?
I'm not saying I like Universal as a whole better than Disney, but when it comes to the character experiences right now, I think Universal has the edge.
Okay.
Because not only does Universal have the parade floats that occasionally come out, Despicable Me, Dora, SpongeBob, Secret Life of Pets. The Mystery Inc. gang will still come out sometimes. A pair of the Simpsons characters will come out in their camper down by the Born Stuntacular and the Hollywood Horror Makeup Show. Marilyn Monroe will come out. Betty Boop.
Spider-Man, some of the Avengers will come out, some of the X-Men will come out.
Oh yeah, or an Islands of Adventure on Superhero Island.
And they'll stand on a stage and you stand 6 feet away and get your picture taken. And Disney is not doing that yet. But right. I feel like Disney is expecting more of a bum rush on their characters. Like, Universal has sort of a bum rush on their characters, Disney is probably expecting, because all hail the mouse, right? Because everybody goes nuts over Mickey.
Yeah.
So they're kind of, I think they're sort of expecting something a lot more big for their characters.
But also, I think that's also with the way the Disney parks are laid out.
Yeah.
Like with the way the parade floats go in Magic Kingdom, there's not really a good stopping point because it's such a narrow pathway for those parade floats. There's no really.
I mean, Main Street would be the only place they could stop, but they don't want to really stop
Because then people are going to stop.
Everybody would crowd.
But now,
hey, Tyler,
like
Nick,
Universal,
stream, if y'all want to come up and talk with us, you're more than welcome to. These guys,
yeah. So like,
you guys the Tyler show or Nick J, man, they're some younger guys. They're what are they, Blaine? Like 16, 17?
15, 14, 15, 16, somewhere there.
But these guys can vlog, man, and the drone footage that they do and everything is remarkable. They come from cruising genre, but those guys are awesome.
You need a drone.
And then we have Cause and Effect in here, and also My Backyard Science. My Backyard Science, did we meet them over at RV Community as well?
I think so. They're also, I think so. They must be also connected.
And I know Cause and Effect is from RV as well.
Yeah, My Backyard must be connected with Monarch too, because they were saying.
Yeah, they watch. I see them a lot over there.
Yeah, I saw them over there. Yeah, so that's
really
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Nick, Tyler, any of you guys, My Backyard Science or Bradley, Cause and Effect, you guys want to come up, talk about your channel, anything going on, you're more than welcome to. The link's there. You don't have to. We'll probably go here until Monarch starts, and then we're going to send everybody over that way. So
You're welcome, Monarch. I'm not sure if it's Garrett or Michelle. Probably Garrett.
You've seen them, hadn't you guys, Mike? Monarch Moments for?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Monarch Moments, they're a great family channel. I love them.
Yeah.
They just reached over 500 too, so congratulations on that, guys. They're a great family.
Yeah. And also, more on. So, obviously, with Magic Kingdom, they have the parade floats that start in Frontierland. You go Frontierland through Liberty Square, around the hub, down Main Street, and then to the exit to backstage. And they don't stop. With Animal Kingdom, I'm not going to say it's worse, but the characters are a little more distant because
they're on boats.
Yeah, they are on these little floats, similar to the ones you see in Fantasmic. And they just go down through the river of Animal Kingdom from one backstage area to another.
Well, that used to be a boat ride back when Animal Kingdom opened. Mm-hmm. Like, that used to be an actual ride you could do. But they've been kind of like pulling back the boats. Because it wasn't very popular, I guess.
But now they're using them for the characters. And that's also an issue I think that some people are having with Disney is that you have to act very quickly if you want to get a quote-unquote picture with the characters.
And there's no guarantee that they'll be looking in your direction. So you have to keep trying.
And also, the cavalcades at Disney, whether it's... Because they have them at Hollywood Studios and Epcot too. But they're always random. They're never at a set time, so that way people don't crowd.
Oh, okay.
At least that's what we've been told.
Yeah, that's what we've been told.
If somebody goes and they manage to time it all, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Let the whole world know.
That makes it hard because I have people on my channel who are fond of certain characters. And it's hard because I can't guarantee that we'll see those characters for them because the cavalcade is always random. They're always at random times.
And your favorite, Mike, is Daisy, right? Daisy Duck is your favorite, right?
No. My favorite is My favorite is Mickey.
Is it really? Who's this Donald? I thought that was yours.
My mother's favorite character is Donald.
Wait, Mike, when you saw Donald on that boat at Animal Kingdom, I thought you were gonna jump off that bridge and try to get into that boat with him, man.
I was gonna try. I was working on it. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, I was wearing flip flops that day.
Yeah, I love Donald, but obviously, at the end of the day, Mickey is number one. He is the one that started it all. It's like without Mickey, there wouldn't be any of those other characters. So
I can't argue with that.
My backyard.
I think Donald came before.
We love the
but
RV,
then
although we don't
also,
have an RV. Although we have stayed at Fort
because-
Wilderness multiple times in a rented RV. Hey, that's awesome.
Donald Duck is my favorite.
It is?
Yeah?
Really?
Remember?
Awesome!
I'll be sure to never see him roll by.
But yeah, the cavalcades, they all have the same. So if you see Gaston, you know at the back of the cavalcade you're gonna see Aladdin. You know, Gaston will be on a horse, and there'll be Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, Tigger, Aladdin,
And
Mary Poppins. It's a weird mashup of characters.
and then they have the princess one, which
The princess one is all the princesses. Merida's on a horse.
and then fairy godmother is at the very top of the main princess, the big princess float.
Yeah.
And then they have one of the move it, shake it, mouse could dance it floats go by.
And that's the Fab
It
5,
has
Fab 6.
Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Donald, and Daisy.
Yeah, because Goofy has his own cavalcade float with his son Max.
Yeah,
So-
it's Max, Clarabelle, Panchito, Jose Carioca, and
Those are some
I forget who else.
those are some rare characters, aren't they? Like they're not everyday characters. Those
Yeah.
ones you just mentioned.
Well, yeah, Clarabelle comes out during Move It, Shake It, Mouse Can Dance It. Max comes out during Move It, Shake It, Mouse Can Dance It. Jose and Panchito do.
Move it, shake
But
it. Is that
they're
the parade? Is that what y'all are saying?
With.
That's the parade now? That's what it's called? Move it, shake
One
it.
of the cavalcade. It's the
Oh.
Goofy cavalcade.
Okay.
And then in Animal Kingdom, the boats that go by, sometimes it'll be Donald, sometimes it'll be Mickey and or Minnie. Other times it'll be Timon or Rafiki, I think we saw.
Yeah.
It
Hey,
was often the
Stacy,
Disney.
Charlie. Welcome in, guys. Great to see
Hey.
you.
Hey, Charlie.
Oh.
And yeah, and then I think at Epcot they have one carriage that goes by that has, I think, Aurora, Snow White, and Jasmine.
And Nancy.
They have another one that goes by.
That's just Frozen characters.
They have another one that goes by with Elsa walking, and then Anna is riding in a carriage behind Elsa in their Frozen 2 outfits. And then they have another one that has Mickey and Minnie in a carriage together. And I think Pluto and Goofy are walking behind them.
Yeah.
And then at Hollywood Studios, they have a Disney Junior one. I know 2 of the characters are Doc McStuffins and Vampirina, but I don't
Yeah.
remember the other one.
Now we're talking. Handy Manny, maybe.
And then they have another one that goes by that has Mickey, Minnie, and I think a couple other characters. But what's cool is at Hollywood, the characters are riding in the back of Camaros that are themed to their character.
Well, that's like how the parades should be there. They used to have parades there where the characters would be a car, would be a Mulan themed car, and then you'd have Aladdin and Jasmine in an Aladdin themed car, and
And that's what they would do with Star Wars Weekend too.
that's what they did with Star Wars. We put Warwick Davis in a car that said Warwick Davis, and it told you what
Actually, I've
characters he played.
seen the guy who voiced Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Clone Wars. I forget
Yeah.
his name off the top of my head.
That was how they used to do it, and it's great to see, especially Kingdom. For those of us that remember the older parades, it's
remember the
great
magic.
to see all of those floats still in use. It's great to see that they still have them. It's great to see that they have reimagined them. You know, it's just really awesome. Yes, they're using the Move It, Shake It, Celebrate It floats, but they're also using floats from like the Remember the Magic, the parade,
And for anyone who came to Disney during the 25th anniversary. Where the Magic was the parade they were doing at that time, which is the parade when I first visited Disney back in August of 2000. And to this day, like Festival of Fantasy, but I'm sorry. Remember, the Magic was so great because back then, the floats would stop and the characters would get off and interact with guests, particularly kids.
And they would bring the kids out to dance with them.
Yeah, so the princesses would get off the princess float that they are still using. And the princes and princesses would dance with kids from the crowd, and then they'd get back on the float and it would move on.
And then they had like a Beauty and the Beast float that, you know, they'd encourage kids to come out and they'd bring kids out and the kids would have to set the table for dinner, you know, and then they would have kids come out for the Aladdin float and it would be Genie Says instead of like Simon Says, it'd be Genie Says. And just, it's great to see that they're still using those floats though. Because Disney doesn't ever really get rid of anything. They just kind of repurpose it. And it's awesome to see that happen, especially with the floats that we love and remember.
Although Backyard Science says, were you there for the recent horse balloon accident? No, I was not. So for anyone wondering what my Backyard Science is talking about, it was during the Princess Cavalcade. Merida was riding by on her horse, or what was meant to be her horse, Angus. And one of these souvenir balloons that has the weighted Mickey head clip on the end drifted into the street and cut and wrapped itself around the horse's back foot. And it panicked and it started kicking and like partially rearing on its legs.
Fortunately for Merida,
she was fine.
She was fine.
She hopped off.
She hopped off of the horse. The handlers took care of it. Everything was great. She finished the rest of the cavalcade.
She went off camera. She went off camera. But
stage.
Yeah, she probably went backstage. But I think she did do the next cavalcade. They might have used a different horse. I'm not sure.
But everything was fine. Everyone was fine. Nobody was hurt. The horse was spooked. But, you know, Disney plans for things like that. That's understandable.
That's why they have two handlers.
Yeah.
Especially for a horse that big. Especially for a horse that big. Because those horses are what, Clydesdales?
Yes. Well, yes, I think so.
Is a Clydesdale or a horse similar to the size of a Clydesdale?
But they're all male horses. Male horses. At least in the parks.
I do notice though, Ghostly Grim is saying I like the Haunted Mansion, and the Haunted Mansion is cool, so I have to do this for Ghostly Grim real quick. Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion. I am your host, your ghost host. I pride myself on my ghost impression.
Not bad at all.
He actually did that the first time.
I do a pretty decent Rod Sterling Tower of Terror.
That's what hooked you.
Yeah.
Yep. That
did it. That and we sang Carousel of Progress together.
No pun intended, but that was the final nail in the coffin.
Nice. That it was.
Nice. All right, well, we got a couple of minutes. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up and send everybody over there to our good friends, Garrett and Michelle at Monarch Moments. So before we leave, I just want to thank you, Mike, and you, Stephanie, so much for being our guest tonight. It's been great talking to you guys the last couple of hours. So thank you for being here and being on. Again, when can people find your next live stream?
You said the 4th and 5th, right?
Yeah, we are going to be streaming on the 4th and the 5th. So on the 4th, we are streaming at the Magic Kingdom. And on the 5th, we are streaming from Epcot. And we usually start our streams about an hour, maybe an hour and a half after park opening. But we always get to the parks at rope drop, and we leave the parks after, what used to be the fireworks. Now we leave the parks when they close. So, and we just walk around and ride rides and eat food and have a great time. And occasionally you're stuck with me, and most of the time you're stuck with him. So
But no matter what, you're always stuck with both of us.
That is true.
Okay, guys. So if you are not connected with Orlando Mike, please go and do that. Correct that mistake
immediately.
And Stephanie, your channel one more time was called what? I'm sorry. Dr. River who? Is that right?
Dr. River Who, but there's a period between the doctor and the river. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan.
All right. So here's Orlando Mike's channel. Blaine, what's your next thing going on, buddy?
Let's see. I have Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I have my normal Monday night travel chat, so I'll be doing that. And I will also be Tuesday night, as far as I know.
We passed the test?
Yeah, doing the late night for Johnny's Journey at 11 p.m. Eastern again next Tuesday night. So, and in the meantime, that's about it for now. And I'll be doing a 500 friends giveaway at some point, a video for that. So since I reached 500, I'll be putting out a video for that.
Very good. I need to put this plug in real fast before I get in trouble. If you guys don't know what Norwex is, please go over to Facebook. Check out Kimberly's Norwex page. The link is in the description below. Blaine, I know you just got some stuff today.
Yep.
Have you had a chance to try it out yet? Or?
I haven't. Not yet.
So a lot of our friends, especially people from the RV community, they have this thing called the Enviro Cloth. And this thing, or if you guys are looking for a way to clean stainless steel or anything real easy, it's just a cloth. And all you have to do is just get it a little bit wet, and it'll clean stuff that so many other things we've tried, and it does not work. It's also a real good way to so you don't have to mess with having all the chemicals and stuff, especially like now. So just go check it out. You don't have to buy anything, but just go over there to her page, check it out. There's catalogs on there. See if there's anything you might be interested in. So she would really appreciate that. Also, our channel has a Fred shirt store, and here is just an example of one of the shirts that we have. We also have hats and other items. You can go check that out as well. The link is in the description.
Hey, Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Can you message me on Instagram later? I have a couple questions about Spreadshirt for you.
Okay. And also, if you guys are not connected with us on Facebook, our Facebook group is Griswold Family Vacay Traveling with Kids. You can find us also on Instagram at Griswold Family Vacay. We really want to pay very special tribute and very special thank you to all of our moderators. Orlando Mike, one of our earliest supporters and moderators. Of course, our partner channel, Blaine, Really Creative Travel. Everyone in the chat, thank you guys so much for coming. Again, we're going to try to do a little bit of a raid, as they say, over on Monarch Moments. So you guys have time, get up, use the restroom, go get yourself a snack, something to drink, whatever you guys want to do. And then please remember to come back tonight to our channel at 11 o'clock Eastern time. We have our weekly trivia, and this week's trivia category is going to be game shows. So please come to our trivia. See if you can beat Avery. All right, so that's going to wrap it up. Again, thank you so much to Orlando Mike and Stephanie for being with us tonight. And head over there to Monarch Moments. Is the link?
Yep. I'll post it again real quick.
Right.
I posted it earlier.
He's going to post that link for Monarch Moments. You guys go over there, tell them the Griswold family sent you. We'd really appreciate it.
All right, coming in right now. Should be popping up momentarily. There we go.
And there we go. Everybody click on that. Go over there to Monarch Moments. Tell them Griswold family sent you. Thanks again. Please come back 11 o'clock tonight for a game show trivia. And as Lennon would say,
Take time to make memories.
All right, he's coming. Never mind. He's coming.
To make memories.
There you go. Thanks, everybody.
Hey.
Woo!